Hello guys, welcome back. Konnichiwa. Herzlich willkommen. So my friends, update here on Nvidia, ticker NVDA. Yeah, we have to talk about the actual gap up, which we now see here in the pre-market. New all-time highs, guys, $172. I'm not surprised. I will show you my price level or the price levels, which I already calculated here a couple of months ago. The landing price zone, guys, the market is pumping. The market is even squeezing right now, not only stocks, also crypto. Be careful, guys. That could be the beginning of a market crash. I show you here the details in that video, all the price level information to the up and downside for Nvidia, and this is of course not financial advice. Okay guys, then let's start with the video. Nothing special here in the Nvidia chart. We know that we had here a bearish accumulation pattern where the market bottom has been in here 7 and 8 of April, which was the overall market shakeout. Nvidia recovered from that, guys, and keep that in mind. This move here, which we had 7 and 8 of April, same here, also crypto dumped. You can just compare that if you want with Bitcoin and the S&P 500. We have here two landing zones, guys. We are already trading here in the red zone in the S&P 500. So guys, be careful. Yeah, we might see here now a couple of pumps, and then maybe in August, latest September, we could see a market crash. I will inform you here on my channel and have also an additional video available here on YouTube related to the S&P 500. For Nvidia, what did I calculate here as a landing zone? So we have this trend channel pattern here, which is in control. Of course, guys, the news always find reasons, right? Always something happens here. Blah, 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 blah. They maybe will, you know, I even don't want to read that, guys. You can see that by yourself. It's here now, of course, in German language, but the news always tell you some reasons. My experience is, guys, that everything is based on algos and that Nvidia will touch this price zone here, guys. So this is the future algo landing zone, which I already mentioned here a couple of weeks or even months ago in my videos. Between $184 and $191 is what I expect for Nvidia. Or just to be clear, guys, that we touch this trend channel top line here. Of course, the price can vary depending on the day. So this line here is where I think the market makers will pull the rug. We had that already here back in June 2024, where we came back, and then the same here. We not touched it here perfectly, but we came also down and had this fake market crash here in April 2025. You can also see that here, that after this top might be in, what I expect is, because September is always a very bearish month in trading, that we might see here something like a top for a couple of weeks, so that Nvidia, starts to gain here some momentum. And it depends, guys. I mean, I cannot tell you what happened in 3 months. Maybe we see a market short squeeze, right? And the whole market is just short squeezing. This is possible, but I'm a trader, guys. And from a trading perspective, I focus on my chart patterns here, or what I think the market could do next. And what I can tell you is that when we touch the bottom line here of this trend channel, or the algo demand zones, which I tell you, explain you here in a second, guys, this is where I usually buy my long positions or set my long positions for a stock. And when we touch this top line here, this is where the market makers step in to take their profits. Of course, if you bought Nvidia, let's say here a couple of years ago in 2024 or earlier, maybe there's nothing to be scared of, right? But you can already see here the crash price target is the same, guys, what I calculated here to the upside. I also calculated a market crash price for Nvidia. So to summarize that here, the first future algo landing zone, which I see, is here between $184 and $191. So we can see that we're now gapping up here to $172. I honestly don't like gap ups. So when we focus here for a second on the indicators for Nvidia, I will disable the drawings. Then you can see that we already have here a couple of gap ups. Even Nvidia has a lot of these open gaps. You can see when I'm zooming out, we have even open gaps here, open down gaps at $42 and lower. That does not mean, guys, that we come low like this. I can just tell you that open up gaps are not very healthy. And what happens when the market is crashing or turning bearish is that the market makers start to close, or the algos, the trading algos, start to close these gaps. We had that, for example, here. Here was the market squeeze here in June 2024. And then you can see we came back. The peak was here in August 2024, and we closed this open gap. Then the second time here was also one open down gap. Then the same here, we squeezed, closed this gap. And that is the big problem here with the market fake out, which we had now here in April 2025. that this important open gap here at $86 for Nvidia has not been filled, guys. We had the attempt to fill this gap, but we didn't fill it yet. That's why be very careful with FOMO, guys. Yeah, I never recommend to buy in when a stock starts to squeeze. Why? Because we have a lot of squeezing stocks in the market, and I always try to find and track the market and inform my members here on Patreon about these squeezing stocks. We finished last week, by the way, with a 318% short squeeze. Sorry, guys. That was this ticker here. I mentioned this already 1 week ago, so I posted this ticker here on that day, and you can see that we traded here sideways. Honestly, I thought that we dip a little bit lower before we squeezed. This stock didn't do so, but usually I'm very precise here with my predictions, and you can see that 1 week after I posted that stock here, we had our 318% short squeeze. The price on which I expected here was this golden pocket, and you can see we just pierced it. I have a lot of tickers available right now, guys, or some other tickers on Patreon which didn't squeeze yet. So if you also want to see some breakout stock or volatile squeeze plays, you can join us here on Patreon, guys. The full package membership is my most popular membership, where you get access to all my breakout stocks here, these squeeze plays, and of course to my trading tutorial. So if you want to learn trading, or even if you're an advanced trader, I have a lot of content available here. And if you want to join in, guys, since we're growing here every day new members joining us here, guys, the link patreon.com/blackbelttrader is of course also available here in the video description. Yo, guys, so to summarize that up, I expect that we go here back in the zone. That can of course take a couple of days now. We don't need to see here a straight line, but I think, guys, that as soon as we touch this price range here, so if we see a straight line today, we talk about $185, and as I said, if it takes a couple of more days or weeks, then something here in the 193, 4, 5, depending on the day, this is where we will top out. And then we have to see, guys, what the market is doing, if the market continues to squeeze, or if we see the beginning here of a bearish reversal or even a market crash. If we would do so, based on all the open gaps which we have right now here for Nvidia, I will disable them to not overload here the chart screen. Yeah, the first bearish algo supply zone, which I think will be a retest for support for Nvidia, is here between $140 and $125. This is the first price call which I expect somewhere here in that range. And if we see a market crash, guys, you can already see that here, the crash price, then we talk about a price of $86. I think somewhere here in that range. We should not build lower lows, but since we didn't close this gap, I think we will end somewhere here in the $85, $75, $70 range, guys, for Nvidia. I know you don't want to hear that. We don't have a market crash yet, but keep in mind, this price move here in April was just a fake out, guys. That has not been a real market crash. That was only a fake out by the market makers to shake retail investors out of their positions, to trigger stop losses. If they really start to sell off their positions, guys, Nvidia can come much lower than that. Yeah, my friends, a lot of people ask me which program I'm using here. This chart tool is called TradingView. This is what I'm using here for all my videos and all my trades, and also to draw charts like that. But also when I'm trading, I use that because you can set up here trading alerts, and if you are traveling or not at home, you get the email alerts on your phone. That's why I recommend TradingView. If you want to get that program, I have a discount link available in the video description, which you can use, guys. And yeah, as I said before, if you want to see here some volatile breakout squeeze stocks, you can join us on Patreon as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This was my update on Nvidia. I wish you a great day. I appreciate your support and see you in the next one. Arigatou gozaimasu, vielen Dank, alles Gute und bis zum nächsten Video. Take care. Bye bye, guys.